Class for economics. Your next chapter is that we are doing, that is human capital formation. That is your chapter human capital formation. Under this chapter, first of all, you have to do the heading of this. What is the development of human resources? This is a definition that can come in 1 mark. Development of human resources means that increase in the quality of human beings, means increase in the productivity of human beings, and which also helpful in the growth of and development of the country. So that is the development of human resources. So now next thing is that physical capital and human capital. Physical capital includes all those inputs which are required for further production, like all the asset the country is having, like plant and machinery. Here is examples are given: factory, building, raw material, and many more. So these are all the physical capital which can be easily touched and seen. So they are the physical input. They are the physical input which is used for further production. That is the physical capital. So here I mark some of the keywords for you. That about the physical capital. Physical capital basically is required for use of the physical resources in the country, and its accumulation means if you are collecting all that physical capital or physical inputs, then that is very important for economic growth of the country, because with which you can produce more goods and services. The ownership of physical capital means when you are purchasing physical capital, that is the decision of the entrepreneur, because they are purchasing it is of it involves bigger amount. Then the entrepreneur possesses knowledge basically to calculate expected rate of return. That's why they are purchasing these physical assets. They are investing in it a very huge amount, and then they want return out of that. So it is a rational decision, and that is the decision taken by the entrepreneur, and while considering the rate of return. The physical capital formation is mainly an economic and technical decision. That is economic decision because lots of money involved in it, and with the intention of earning more profit. And that is a technical process, because you are to assess each and everything before investing into any physical asset. Okay. Now the next thing is human capital. Human capital means basically there is a that is a stock of skillful people with having very good ability, expertise, education, knowledge, and these are the things which should be in the people of the country. That is the human capital. So human capital is basically required. Definitely it is required for the country, and that is required for using the proper use of the physical capital in the country. That's why we need human capital. And society must have efficient and sufficient human capital. Means like they are having educated, trained, and expertise people, like they are having good professionals like doctors, lawyers, and many more, engineers. Likewise, they are having skillful people, they are having the educated people, so they can produce more human capital in the country. And likewise, physical resources, in the physical resources the money is invested in the same way. For the human capital, money is invested, and that is converted into human capital. Physical resources can convert it into physical capital, so human resources can also be converted into human capital by investing a good amount into it. And government is also doing they are starting many educational programs, this and that, for the purpose of upgrading or for the purpose of making people skillful and expertise. Fine. So that is both the decision are outcome of conscious investment decision. This is the investment by the entrepreneur or by the government to make physical capital and human capital in the country. Now the difference is difference between physical capital and human capital. So physical capital is basically tangible, you can see, you can touch. Human capital is intangible, you cannot see and touch. Human capital, like productivity of people, education of people, you cannot touch. It depreciates with the passage of time. As you know, physical capital, like fixed assets, they are having a certain rate of depreciation, and that the asset value of the asset decreases from the time to time. Now but the human capital, they are not having such type of depreciation, and basically whatever if you invest money into for the human capital here, then that doesn't involve any type of depreciation here, and that is more mobile. It is more mobile between countries, and human capital is less mobile between countries as compared to physical capital. So you can move, it is easy to move inputs, but it is not that much easy to move human capital, means human resources, from one country to another country. Now physical capital, basically that can be separated from its owner, definitely, and but the human capital, human capital in this case, capital cannot be separated from its owner, because you cannot separate education or expertise or skill of of the person from them. So this is the difference between physical capital and human capital. Now the next thing that next two differences are: physical capital is the outcome of decision of entrepreneur, and human capital basically that is a social process. Basically, it is not the decision of somebody to invest into it. Sometimes the poor people also do their studies and they become a very good person, they become a educated person from the passage of time. So basically the formation of human capital is a social process, and that is not always required entrepreneur to invest and like this, fine. So in the case of physical capital, it can be built through imports, but human capital formation is to be done through conscious policy formulation. Like imports, if you are not having physical capital in the country, you are not having enough inputs in the country, like you are not having capital goods in the country, there are not enough many electronic item in the country, electronic goods in the country, that you can import from other country. But in case of human capital formation, you cannot import these things from the other country, but what you can do, that is a policy formulation by the government to make the human capital formation in the country. Human capital formation means that there should be enough people who are expertise, who are doctors, who are engineer, who can do all the economic activity, who can help out the people with their knowledge, with their education. So that is a human capital formation. So what is the meaning of human capital formation? Human capital formation basically that refers to the development of abilities and skill among the population of the country. So this is the development of skill and abilities among all the population of the country, that is known as human capital formation. This is the definition of clear and cut definition of human capital formation. So what is included in it? It is a process of acquiring and increasing number of person who have skill, education, experience. Definitely you need population for this. And after that education, human capital formation is associated with the investment in man and its development, creative and productive resources. Fine. So that is included in human capital formation. Now the sources of human capital formation. Now the sources of human capital formation. There are the sources. What are the sources you can have human capital formation? That is, first thing is the expenses on education. So if the government do expenditure on education, then the human capital formation can be increased. Now the next thing is health. Government has to spend on health, and government is spending on education. Likewise, by starting many by adding up many courses in engineering classes. So likewise, earlier it was few courses, but as the passage of time, the courses has been increased in engineering, doctor, medical, all these in all these fields, or the commerce, the basically many courses, many invention has been introduced by the government by spending on these. Next, on health, government is spending so much on health, like immunization of the people, like immunization of basically children, and then giving free medicine and many more things. So expenditure on health also is the main source of human capital formation, and government is doing on the job training. So that is also very important, increasing the skill and efficiency of the worker. On the job training means the job when the person is doing job, by that time the training is given to that particular person. As we are talking about the education sector, then CBSE is giving training of online teaching and regarding online classes, regarding how can we conduct test, and many more apps are there. And CBSE is giving time to time training to all the teachers who belong to the CBSE. That is a CBSE curriculum. So government is spending too much, and free of cost they are giving the seminars, and schools are also doing that. So that is the on the job training. Now expenditure on migration. Well, that involves expenditure on the migration from one place to another place for the searching of job, and people are doing it. They are spending so much for the transportation and for setting up in the new cities. So that is the expenditure on migration, and these are used to be done by the people themselves, or the government help those people who are migrated, who are coming from other cities, and government used to help them by investing, by giving them basic amenities over there. Now the next thing is expenditure on information. So information is a very important thing is nowadays. So like information, in the case of expenditure on information, that is also creating human capital formation. Like expenditure on information is very important because this is the expenditure, this is the information which tells, basically this is the information which tells that about the labor market, about the about the product, about the sale, about other things. So that is the information which should be reached to the people so that they can take their economic decision. So this is the government is spending too much, and government is publishing many times its information, and government is spending on IT sector so that information can be circulated through all the part of the country. So this is the expenditure which is done by the government. Like government is spending on for the information regarding if any pandemic disease likewise nowadays it is going on, or any other important information regarding economic decisions. So all these information has been generated by the government for the welfare of the people. And now the expenditure, now we will discuss all these things one by one. So this is very important. What are the sources of human capital formation? How can government increase the human capital formation? By increase in the expenditure in all these ways, government can increase the human capital formation. Now first of all, expenditure on education. Here the education is very important. Educated person can learn more things, he can be more expert. So investing on education person is more productive than an educated person in terms of skill and in terms of training. So education is always has been stressed out, that has been always emphasized, that has been always given so much importance by the economics, and that is very important for the nation also, a very developing nation also. And now the spending on education, they are saying that here you have to mark out that spending on capital goods by the company, it is similar to spending on capital goods by the company, and individual invest in education to increase their future income and raise the living standard. So their future, from the point of view of individual, if you are thinking that, then it will increase their income, it will increase their standard, and from the point of view of company, they will get the very good type of labor, and their productivity, in the case of capital goods, their productivity will increase. Fine.